You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast. And this is show number 565 for Sunday, the 28th of September, 2025.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jane.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are we doing this fine week?
Doing okay, doing
Yeah,
okay.
good.
Still not had any clarification on any test results, which is annoying because I'm waiting,
Mm.
I'm waiting, and I'm not very good at waiting and waiting.
No, we don't. No, you'd think, wouldn't you, being the Disney fans that we are, queuing would be in our nature, and therefore patience.
Yeah,
But maybe not.
yeah. Well, 2 weeks is long enough in my opinion. Come on, gotta move on. So yeah, there's all of that going on, and then there's the post-trip blues. So, but we'll come back to that after we've done a little bit of On This Day in Disney history, because I have
Oh,
got a lovely little bit of history from 1953.
right, 1953. Go on then. That's a couple of years
So,
before a big day, yeah?
Herb Ryman, Walt Disney were making their plans of a big Disneyland park they were wanting to build in California. But
Mm.
obviously, this needs to have one, money, and two, an audience to actually want to go. And you know, Disney, they are very good at hyping up and advertising things. So Roy was out meeting three big TV networks seeking finance for Disneyland. Well, CBS said no.
No.
NBC's parent company, RCA, they didn't really want to make a commitment.
Oh.
But ABC's Leonard Goldenson made an agreement to participate and include a nice little bit of funding in the tune of $500,000 from ABC Paramount for a 4.5 million line of credit in return for a 35% interest in Disneyland and a weekly 1 hour TV show with Disney films and production for TV.
Yeah, now 35%, that's quite a big chunk, isn't it, to have as a stake in something that was predominantly Disney. That's quite interesting, really.
Yeah. I was quite surprised when I saw that figure. And then
Mm.
obviously this gave them the fundage to build what we love as the first Disney park.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm so looking forward to this documentary type film that's coming out, I think towards the end of this year, isn't it? That's going to be all that
Mm,
un or rediscovered footage, because Walt being very sort of preemptive, I suppose it would be the word, by getting people to film the building of. It's like doing the behind the scenes documentary type of thing, isn't it? And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of that footage that has not been released before and just getting a feel for how close to the mark they were actually running. Because we all know it was a bit of kind of skidding in at the final hour, wasn't it, to get Disneyland up and running for when they wanted it to.
absolutely. And talking about beginnings, on
Mm.
this day in 2009, Disney launched the Disney Parks blog.
Oh wow,
Oh,
didn't know
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been up and running in the early days of really people getting to know and love their Disney through an actual authentic and rather than unofficial source like me and thee. We're unofficial. We never will be official because we like to talk what we want to talk about.
Very true. Yeah. But it is nice, it is that thing, isn't it? I think we are so used to nowadays there being such a plethora of information out there on the internet, whether it's like ourselves or the unofficial or the official line, but you forget that, perhaps these things didn't happen as early on as we maybe think they did.
Mm. Then I've got a couple of little bits of news that I thought I'd share with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose we should do a show about this, about all of the amazing upscale dining opportunities as a Disney fan you can have, whether on
Mm-hmm.
the cruise line or whether in the theme parks. But one of those that's right up there for me is the Napa Rose over at Disneyland, and it's been closed for a while. It was due to reopen this fall, this autumn, but
Right.
now I gather it's not going to open until early 2026.
Oh, that's a little bit of a wait, isn't it then?
It closed all the way back in April, so it's going to be a little bit longer than
Mm.
anticipated. So we shall see what happens when it does finally reopen.
Well, as long as it's worthwhile, we'll all be happy.
And talking of something that is going to be worthwhile, us UK Disney fans are going to be celebrating because us Northerners are going to be able to get our mitts and our feet into a Disney store very soon.
Oh, please tell me. Go on.
So, the Disney Store collection debuted at Selfridges in London on the 22nd of September, so just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's going to roll out to other Selfridges stores throughout Northern
Oh,
England. So we're going to have one at the Trafford Centre.
right.
That's opening on the 29th, so literally the day after our official release date. Then there's going to be the Selfridges Manchester Exchange
Mm-hmm.
and Selfridges Bullring in Birmingham on the 13th of
Oh,
October.
now that one's handy for me because that's not too far away from where I am. Well, I say too far, it's about an hour's drive, but
So from what I'm gathering, the stock range is going to include the ranges for 70 years of happy from the Disneyland Resort, because obviously,
Oh,
that celebration's going to last for more than a year.
true.
And it's going to be bringing the create your own headband merchandise and pins
Oh.
and things like that. That's going to be available after the 2nd of October. There's going to be some special selections from the Walt Disney World Resort as
Mm-hmm.
well. So we're talking Loungefly, we're talking about Parks Life merchandise, and of course, ornaments for Christmas.
Ooh.
There's going to be a With Love from Disneyland Paris selection. So, some unique pins and seasonal gifts. So, it's really nice that if you're not able to get to DLP, you can pick them up in the UK.
Mm.
But the best bit is there's going
Mm.
to be magic from Shanghai Disney Resort and treasures from the Tokyo Disney Resort and Disney Star Japan.
Wowzers. That's going to be really interesting to have all that merchandise in one place. Is this just going to be a temporary type of thing?
From what I gather, yes. This it's just so exciting though, because having the Disney Store taken away and only having the
Mm,
one store in London, and I know it had the pop-up in London as well, but for us in the north, it's a bit of a trek to go down to London, and then it's full of tourists. So to actually have something sort of like not quite north, but sort of like Northy Midlandsy is really
yeah,
exciting. So I'm
yeah.
quite excited, and I think we should do something official. So if you are in the UK and want to make a bit of an event out of it, let's combine our diaries and possibly consider a meet either in Birmingham or Manchester. Info@disneydreamgirls.com or chat to us on Facebook. Let's see if we can make a meet happen. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, and let's hope that if there's enough interest in this sort of pop-up event, that they perhaps recognise that there are enough of us out there that are happy to spend our money on Disney merchandise and actually, do miss that element of being able to go into a Disney store and have a perusal and maybe buy things that you hadn't intended to buy.
Well, us true collectors are really picky on placement. When it comes to a shirt that has a pattern and you've got to check if it's got the right placement or a
Yeah.
Dooney and Burke or anything like that, even a Loungefly, I like to be able to see the merch, touch the merch, and pick out the patternation that matches me and makes me the happiest. And you
Mm.
can't do that online because you're just getting some randomer putting a lounge fly in a box for you. So for me, this is getting me really excited that I can get to the store, I can go and try things on because I have that dilemma with the purchase of my first Roosevelt shirt. And I
Mm.
was really, really keen to be able to try the sizing to get the right fit but also to make sure I was 100% happy where the hitchhiking ghost was going to be on the shirt.
Yeah, no, I agree. There is as much as online shopping is great and it's convenient and what have you, but there is something to be said for going out there physically and actually having the experience of shopping, and like you say, being able to actually decide whether or not, sometimes the price tags on some of these items are quite hefty, and it's quite nice to be able to pick up the merch itself and go, actually, no, this is worth or this isn't worth the price tag. So yeah, I'm in total agreement with you, Sean.
Yeah, and I felt that way with the Roosevelt. I like a good quality shirt, and because I'd not handled the material, once I handled the material and tried one on, I'm glad I didn't order it online because I would have ordered a size that was too big for me.
Yeah, there you go. You see.
So I gather you've got some trip updates, Jane.
Well, yeah, I've just had a look at my little countdown calendar. So as we record, I'm 38 days out from boarding on the Disney Fantasy. Can't believe it's coming round quite as quick as it is, really. So yeah, in a few days' time, I'll be doing my online check-in and everything, and getting up at stupid o'clock in the morning. Not that I'm expecting an amazing boarding group, because I think there's so many people on our cruise that are in the higher ranked Castaway Club members. So I'm suspecting that it'll be a later group, but that's fine. Not a problem at all, because we're going to have 13 nights on the ship anyway. But yeah, we've made a few dining reservations, Michelle, for when we get to the
Ooh.
to the side. So yeah, which is not like Simon and I. We tend to be a bit more freewheeling, so to speak. But now we've booked Ogre's Cantina.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken the advice. I think it was Kat and Lewis from Diz Down Under commented about getting the latest possible
Yeah.
slot. So we've managed to get the last slot one evening for Ogre's Cantina to see how that goes. Um, we've made a reservation that we're out there for our when we met anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's 40 years since Simon and I met.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got 50s prime time booked for that, and then yesterday I was able to book Thanksgiving,
So where did you plump for there?
Whispering Canyon.
Meet a fun. Okay.
Yeah, and they do actually have it's interestingly on a few of the restaurants, and I can't remember which ones it was, so I apologize. When you go in to book, they do actually highlight the fact that it will be a different menu on
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. So the skillet that's available is slightly different to normal. Obviously, a little bit more, as you would expect. Um, Thanksgiving-y themed. Is that a word? Thanksgiving-y themed? I think it probably is a word, isn't it? Um, so I can actually tell you that what we're going to get. So there is a Thanksgiving skillet which features oak smoked turkey, slow smoked pulled pork, Western style sausages, maple chipotle pork ribs, stuffing, sauteed green beans, giblet gravy, cranberry relish, buttered corn, and smashed Yukon potatoes. There's also a plant-based version as well. And then apparently dessert is going to be a seasonal dessert sampler. So
Ooh.
I'm fingers crossed I'm going to get some proper authentic pumpkin pie, because that's what you get at Thanksgiving, isn't it? That's what I've been led to
Yeah.
believe. So yeah, really really exciting about that. And we have a few more on our list that we'd like to book, but nothing's been booked as of yet. So yeah, it seems to come around rather quickly.
I
That's all
will
good.
just add to all of this that
Mm,
I did say to Jane, are you sure about 50s prime
you
time?
did.
Because the food is not amazing. But Jane reassured me it was more for the atmosphere than the food. And then I was happy.
Yeah, because we met in the 80s. I know this is a 50s diner, but we wanted something that was proper retro. So it's kind of got that vibe, and obviously it was open in the 80s as well. So that was kind of what we were going for, something that was opened in that was around then, that's still around now, and I've got a bit of a retro
Mm.
thing going on. So that's kind of why we plumped for it.
I just want to take you back to the cruise, Jane. Are
Mm.
you and Simon planning on doing any of the upscale dining, or are you just going to stick to what there is?
We'd like to do a Paolo brunch again.
Hmm.
The problem we're having at the moment is there's nothing available to book. So again, I think this goes back to the fact that we're on a cruise with a lot of people that are big time cruisers, that they've got those higher Castaway membership levels, so they've gone in there, snaffled all the bookings. I think
Mm.
also another factor may well be because if you remember back when we went on the Dream last September with Molly and her boyfriend and Ethan, we tried to book a table for two for just Simon and I, but we couldn't. But we could book a table for five. So
Mm.
I wonder if there's availability, but their availability is on all the bigger tables.
Do you
So
know what
it's
I think you should do, Jane?
mm,
I'd like you to try booking a table for one person and see what happens, because that's
mm,
what happened when I was trying to do it the same. And there's a system glitch going on. And as long as you've got that table reserved, even if it's for one person or two persons, you'll be fine. I'd be interested to hear back from you on that.
yeah, I will give it a go. I think the consensus on the good old Facebook group is that, turn up on the day and ask, and hopefully you'll get in. Because obviously we've got an awful lot of sea days
Mm,
to, partake of the brunch. So, we'll give it a go. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. It's going to be one of those things. So it will be a nice to have on top of everything else. But we're just looking forward to going on a different ship because this will be our third different ship now. Having
mm-hmm,
done the Dream and Wish, I know it's going to be very similar to the Dream, but we do love the layout of the Dream with Fantasy, so that should be in our favour. We've got a few nice little ports to dip our toe into, and then yeah, just nice chill, relaxing time. Get lots of steps in, going around the promenade. Make use of the gym. Simon, no doubt, will be doing lots of drawing because that's what he loves to do. Yeah, just proper disconnect for a little while.
yeah. I feel for me personally, the Disney fantasy is like home because I
Mm,
feel comfortable in the layout. I love the situation with the Cove Cafe right next to the adult pool area. I love where I've typically had the room because I've just been a couple of floors down to go down to the room and get there really quickly. So yeah, totally 100%. I think you're going to have an amazing time. And I really had an amazing time on the fantasy this year with Caroline, being able to share with her my favourite ship. It was like the Tube on an evening was our HQ, and I loved it. But I feel for me, the only thing that would deter me going back on the fantasy is I feel the food menus are a little bit, I'm done with. I want something different.
mm,
After 3 cruises, I've tried every option and it's a bit samey. And I
mm,
felt the dining this year really didn't leave me as inspired as I had on past trips.
mm.
So we mentioned Disney
Mm,
blues.
we did.
And as Disney fans, we always need a trip.
Wonder where this is going, people.
Well, it came about within like 2 hours. I hadn't even thought about booking a trip for next year.
Mm,
And we just happened to sit down and watch a vlog. And it was about going on a Disney cruise.
mm-hmm,
And I just said to Tom, I said, we should do that ship. And
mm.
literally, before he could even blink, I booked it.
That's dangerous, leaving you alone with the computer and the enticement of a Disney vacation.
Well, my criteria was I wanted to do a cruise ship I hadn't done.
Mm,
So that ruled out doing any of the Southampton sailings next year because it's going to be back to the Dream. And
right.
although I've not done the Dream, its menus are the same as the Fantasy and it's
Mm,
very similar. So I
right. Yeah.
wanted to go up to the next class of ship. So then
Mm,
it was like, do I do the Treasure or do I do the Wish? And I think what it came down to was purely the ports.
right. Okay.
And when we were looking at it, because Tom's not done a Disney cruise before, he's done a cruise, but not Disney. I
Yeah.
didn't want to go for a 7 night because I felt if he wasn't comfortable, it might just be too much. And I
Mm.
feel 3 nights aren't enough. To be honest, 5 would be a good sweet spot for me, but they
Yeah.
don't offer it. So I found an itinerary that was leaving from Port Canaveral,
Mhm.
that went to Castaway Cay,
Mhm.
then Lighthouse Point,
Nice.
then had a sea day.
Mhm.
So I thought, this looks good. So we watched some vlogs going round the 3 themed dining, and there's Arundel, there's the Worlds of Marvel and 1923.
Mhm.
I looked at the menus. I feel the food is more exciting than the offerings on the Dream and the Fantasy, having eaten that on the last 3
Mm.
cruises. So we've plumped for the Disney Wish.
Ooh. Gonna be really interesting to hear your trip report in a fair while's time.
It is a farewells time. We did have a bit of a discussion over the room because my viewpoint was it's only 4 nights. Let's not bother with the veranda because it is a bit of an
Right.
upcharge.
Yeah.
And I was quite happy to do an inside cabin. I just wanted to be on the ship, to be quite honest. They could have put me in a lifeboat and I'd have slept in there all week, you know. Um, but we started having a look round, and Tom really wanted a porthole.
Mm.
So it was sort of bit cheaper than a veranda, but at least you can see outside.
Yeah.
And we came across this room category that really intrigued us. So if you imagine the front of the Disney Wish,
Mhm.
deck 8,
Mhm.
looking right ahead of the ship
Mm.
over Sensi's Spa area, but
Oh yeah,
looking
yeah.
to the very front of the ship.
Nice.
So the room we've chosen has that, and it looks sensational. It's not a traditional round porthole though.
Oh, what shape is it then?
Well, the room, because if you look at the fantasy sorry, if you look at the Disney Wish at the front, it's got a sloped front.
Yes.
So the room has a sloped front. So it's
Okay.
like a rectangular window with a blind that's angled that you can open
Ah,
or close.
okay.
And it's a sloping roof inside that goes over the seating area. But the room itself looks a little bit more spacious than your traditional porthole cabin would look.
Mm. I suppose with it having to accommodate that sloping roof, it's going to inadvertently give more room, I would imagine. More floor
It
space. Yeah.
it looks like it, and I've done a little bit of a Google on that there YouTube, and I've seen someone in the next door room, so I've got a feel for it, and it looks fantastic. It really does, and I believe the Disney Wish
Mm-hmm.
has glass screens instead of curtains in the shower, which makes my little OCD heart a little bit happier.
Yeah, I think they do, yeah.
I hate a shower curtain. I really, really, it's just one of those
Yeah, no,
things.
I know what you mean,
I
yeah.
don't like it. So I'm very, very excited for it. I have been doing some research. So if we have any listeners who've been on the Treasure or been on the Wish and they've done this similar itinerary, or they've eaten at Enchante or Paolo Steakhouse, please can you get in touch with me? Because I'm just toying with the idea of which do I do rather than doing the Paolo brunch, which I've kind of done to death. I was considering maybe doing an enchanté, and they do
Mm.
a brunch, which I gather is the same as the evening meal. But I would like to speak with a listener if they've been to the two to let me know whether I
Mm.
should do Paolo dinner or enchanté brunch.
Wow,
So
interesting.
that's next August. So I've got a massive countdown, Jane. So I won't even tell you how many nights. It's ridiculous. It's over 300.
But you've got all that time to plan, Michelle, and
I
research
know.
and change your mind and go back and forth and change your mind and then decide on something else and then come back to what you started off with.
I know. And I did have a wobble the other night when I was speaking to you, saying, but Jane, if I went on the Disney Treasure that's got the Haunted Mansion parlour, that'd be 7 nights. And then you very, very calmly said to me, but you don't want to go to any of those ports, Michelle. Go for the one that you want to go and compare the two private islands. So that made me happy at the prospect of getting a Castaway Cay 5K medal and a Lighthouse Point 5K medal. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's that element, isn't it? You can dip your toe into the Wish class ship on
Hmm.
that cruise, and then it may then make you feel that subsequent years, perhaps a 7 night on the Treasure may be a thing.
But you all know what Michelle's going to be really wanting to do on the Disney Wish, don't you?
What, Michelle?
Go on the kids' slide to enter the kids' club.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. So that just sold it. Yeah. Kids' slide, open house. Thank you.
And, and you
Anyway,
and you do realise as well, because there's an amazing Star Wars area for the kids, you will struggle to get that other half of yours to leave that area.
well, I will entice him away with the bar,
The bar of soap, or just the bar in general?
the hyperspace bar,
The hyperspace
because
bar, of
literally,
course.
as I've just been recording this week, a close friend of mine has been on a 3 night cruise on the Disney Wish,
Mm.
hence a lot of Disney Wish content on our Instagram. And he's really been bigging up the Disney Wish and saying how amazing it was, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah,
Exciting times.
it is very exciting. Anyway, digression back
Mm.
to some sort of like musings
Mm.
of me from my trip.
Okay.
And I'd arrived on the Friday. The Saturday I'd done Animal Kingdom and the outlets and then Magic Kingdom. The Sunday, it was a Hollywood Studios day for me. And it was a special day because I was meeting up with my buddy Laura
Mm.
and we were going to spend some time together. So I decided to get up super early and I left the room at 7:20 for the Skyliner and I got to Hollywood Studios for 8:10 because you've got to bear in mind there is a little bit of a wait for
Mm.
the Skyliner at that time in the
Of
morning.
course, yeah.
So I had a plan. And my plan was to rope drop Tower of Terror because over the last few trips I'd seen, Tower's queue was astronomical.
Mm.
So I got to Tower of Terror, and by 10 to 9, I'd ridden it twice.
Nice. Get in.
I know. Then I did the most undelicately power walk over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway because they open the queue to main guests rather than theme park guests. So theme park guests can get in at 8:30,
Mm-hmm.
whereas if you're not a theme park sort of resort guest, you
Mm.
can't get on an attraction till 9. So
Mm.
I literally got to the Runaway Railway for 5 to 9 before they let everyone else in. So I was
Ah,
literally in
sneaky.
on the ride vehicle for 9:15. Fantastic. And as I came out, the wait for the attraction had gone to 65 minutes.
Nice one.
So then I thought, well, what shall I do now? I'm going to do Slinky. So again, I power walked. It said a posted wait of 25 minutes.
Crikey, that's good.
The lightning lane was $26. So I went in and I literally, oh my word, it was 17 minutes till I got on the vehicle.
That's not bad going at all, Michelle.
Yeah, I did Toy Story Midway Mania, and that was pretty accurate. That was sorted. So after doing Toy Story Midway Mania,
Mm.
I went over to do the Villain Show,
Oh,
and oh my word,
yeah, worth it.
oh, Jane, it was amazing.
Oh,
I
cool.
was literally at the front of the queue.
Mm-hmm.
I got in line about 10:45, and it was for the 11:10 show, so it wasn't the first show of the day.
Yeah.
They let the disabled in first, but because there was only one of me, I was able to go and get another front row seat. And
Right.
I think for the first time, it enabled me to have such a great view. It was
Mm.
And I know I've spoken about the villain show at length before on the live sort of trip report with David earlier on, so I won't go back, but I just love it. It's fantastic, and it's not a one and done. It is a
No.
one and let's do it again and again and
Yeah.
again and again. Um, so at that point, I then left and went back to pop because I feel the Skyliner enables that little break a little bit
Mm.
more than having to trudge around on buses. Because with the Skyliner, when you get there, you're not going to have a long wait to get on it. Whereas sometimes with a bus, it's 10-15 minute wait. And
Yeah,
yeah.
it's an interesting one. I mean, I know we found sometimes that we would actually take the walking path between Hollywood Studios and the back of Epcot because we could actually beat the Skyliner because it's
Mm.
surprising how long it does take. But having said that, the queues, apart from beginning and end of the day, were never anything like what I'd call a queue. It was literally walk-ons every time.
So got back to pop, met up with Laura. After a little bit of exchanging chocolate from our relative countries, we decided to head on over to Epcot. And I'd already purchased the Lightning Lane to ride Guardians because for me, I'm not a fan of paying for Lightning Lanes,
No.
but there's no way I want to wait 2 hours in a queue to ride Guardians. I feel that gosh, how much was it? I think it was $18. I felt
Mm.
it was worth it.
Yeah.
So we headed there and we went to Sunshine Seasons. I had the Mongolian beef, which was delicious. We rode Living with the Land, and
Mhm.
that was a walk on. Cast member Michael, thank you. There was no queue, and he just said, "Would you like the front row to be able to sit and enjoy?" Lovely.
Oh.
So Guardians had a posted wait of 70 minutes.
Mhm.
With our Lightning Lane, it took us 17 minutes to the first pre-show and it took 29 minutes to ride. So even buying that Lightning Lane, I would still factor in 30 minutes from entering building to sitting on the
Yeah,
attraction.
attraction. Yeah, just because of those yeah, it depends on at what point you classify the ride has started, don't you?
Yeah. Now we'd got sat in the vehicle, we'd got ourselves all safely all fastened in.
Mhm.
The lights went on.
Oh,
Yeah.
was there a little bit of a technical problem?
There was a massive technical problem, and I was like gutted that we weren't a bit further into the ride system to have been able to have the lights on in the actual coaster part rather than the entry part.
Oh, the dilemma of every true Disney fan.
I know. I was so upset, really upset. Anyway, we had about 20 minutes of waiting. There was the little guy at the little podium glued to this phone and chatting back and forth, and there was announcements it was quite interesting how Disney sort of worded some of the announcements. The ride will recommence momentarily,
Mm.
immediately,
Mm.
eventually. It
Actually,
was like they'd just swallowed a dictionary of adverbs. Um,
get the thesaurus out and see how many words we can come up with.
yeah. So we eventually got on the attraction and had the ride. It was lovely. And as we came off, there were cast members scanning people's phones and giving 2 lightning lanes.
For any way
Yes,
you
please.
liked.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we got 2 more lightning lanes to ride Guardians again that day. But we went to guest services and sort of said, we really don't want to ride Guardians again because we've got a reservation at GO82 and
Mm.
then, it's going to be too late. So he very kindly converted them for the following day for us.
Lovely.
So thank you, Dylan from Thomasville. And yes, I did do a cast compliment to you.
Good on you.
So that was really good. And then we went to Geo 82. We rode Spaceship Earth because it was going down, of
Of
course.
course, yes, yeah.
So our cast member at Geo 82 was Amy. And wow, the
Mm.
knowledge that she had about every drink was phenomenal.
Mm.
She was up there as the best of the
Mm.
best. She
Yeah.
could, like Laura was explaining about what type of wine she wanted to try, and Amy got her a little pour so she could try that. She wasn't quite
Wow.
happy. She was considering the Bourbon flight, and then Amy talked her out of it because she wasn't the big Bourbon fan, was Laura.
Mm.
I thought, to heck with it, I'm having a glass of champagne.
Ooh.
So we had that and we got the cheese board. And can I just say that that cheese board, even shareable, was phenomenal.
Interesting.
Really good cheese board. It came with some very interesting accompaniments. The honey was fabulous. Everything was amazing. I highly recommend if you want a little bit of a splurge. It wasn't cheap, like my half of the bill with the glass of champagne and the half of the charcuterie and then the tip was about
Mm.
$55. But for me, that was a nice little splurge to have an hour and a half out of the theme park and have a bit of an indulgence.
Mm.
So, yeah. And that was basically it. We just had a nice stroll back through Epcot, back to the Skyliner, back to Pop, and an early night. It proves that you can do Hollywood Studios by maximizing your time. Half an hour before its official opening to resort guests. If you get there, you can do an amazing job. Like the following day, Laura and I did it because she didn't believe that she could do that. So we got to Hollywood Studios a little bit later at 8:20. We'd still ridden Tower of Terror by 8:45.
Wow.
We went straight over to Mickey and Minnie's and we'd got on there just before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, not too shabby at all.
And then again, of course, we had to then do the villains and we had a fabulous time. We did the Indiana Jones show, we did the Beauty and the Beast show. We had a fabulous, fabulous time. We did have a bit of a kerfuffle leaving
Mm.
because we got as far as the Riviera to hop back to Pop, and they closed the monorail, the Skyliner.
Oh, slight hiccup.
But
Mm.
when you are throwing lemons, what do?
Make lemonade.
We went inside the Riviera and we went to the quick serve and we had a delicious lunch of the croque monsieur sandwich, and my side was the tomato soup, which was amazing.
Mm.
By the time we'd come back out again, the thunder, lightning, and rain had stopped, and there was a plethora of Disney characters wandering around the gardens. So we got character pictures.
Oh, there you go. You see, sometimes roll with it and you never know what might happen.
Yeah. So we then raced over to Epcot, saw Voices of Liberty. Fantastic.
Mm,
Fantastic.
nice.
And then we used up our lightning lanes on Guardians.
Perfect.
So we had an amazing day, and we still didn't finish there because we then went over to the Magic Kingdom via the monorail. And we had Jane's Hack, kids salmon with double green beans, and we did a few attractions. We went over to Tiana's. It was about 7 o'clock at night. The queue looked horrific.
Mm.
It was posted 40 minutes. We were only in the queue for 25.
Oh, that's not bad then. I mean, the 40-minute wait, I would join anyway. That's what I
Yeah,
would consider to be an acceptable, more than acceptable wait time. Yeah.
yeah. We did have a bit of a pause at the final lift hill as we were sort of going up, and I found it quite amusing that the announcer said, "We will be getting going in 2 shakes of a gator's tail." And then we just went on and rode the TTA about 57,000 times,
As is the
got an
law.
ice cream, and went home.
Oh.
Using the transportation, using the early morning to get those big hitters, and thinking about when you're going to go and try attractions like Tiana's. We felt going at 7 o'clock, most people would be sort of like milling around trying to get a parade spot.
Mm.
So we did
Yeah,
well on that.
being strategic with your planning, isn't it? I think it's finding that sweet spot sometimes, Michelle, of having those kind of rough outline plans in place, knowing things like, well, there's going to be a parade happening, there's going to be fireworks happening. Can we take advantage of that? But also being willing to just kind of go with whatever the day deals you, because obviously going in August like you did, you are susceptible to those good old afternoon downpours, which can throw plans a little bit out the window. But sounds like you made the absolute best decision of just stopping, having something to eat, and getting the advantage of all those characters. So I think it's testament to the fact that have a plan, but be prepared that things don't always go like that way, and just roll with it, enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I think that was the motto for the whole trip was, oh, pivot, we'll do this instead, we'll do that. And nothing was set in stone.
Mm,
And we just did what we wanted. And Laura's very much of the mindset of, yeah, I've had enough now. Time to go back and have some sleep.
yeah, sensible
So,
lady.
yeah, we had a lovely time. So I suppose we will end off this week's podcast. And as always, we want to thank our wonderful Patreon supporters and say thank you to you guys for
Mm.
your financial support. There will be some more exclusive audio coming your way. We would also like to say thank you to those of you who follow us on Instagram at This Dream Girls and engage with the content we are sharing. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.